And we're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Friday. You made it through the week. We're going to take a look at a couple different things today, real quick. That is, in my opinion, really important. First one, dealing with microbiome development in children. You know, when we look at this and say gut health is a crucial factor, and we've said this over and over again, from the time of conception at 4 weeks, the brain starts its connection to the gut. So that gut-brain connection is established very early in life. It's responsible for communication back and forth, brain to gut, gut to brain, and backwards. And during those developmental times, how well the gut, we'll call it in this case the microbiome, how well it's handled is critical. So we have talked over and over again about how important it is for a pregnant mother to be on the correct form of probiotics during the whole course of her pregnancy, because it will transpose through the placenta to the child. And even after childbirth, let me raise this camera up just a little bit, even after childbirth, to be able to continue to take those probiotics so it transports through breast milk into the developing child. Crucial factor. Now, this article comes out of Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. It says a team of researchers at Children's Hospital Philadelphia has characterized how the gut microbiome develops in the first hours of pregnancy. Now, I'm going to stop there. Stop there. How the microbiome develops in the first hours of infancy. This is the first hours after birth, providing a critical baseline for how changes in this environment can impact health and disease later in life. And if we say stop there, they're looking at what happens from the time of birth. Now, what's going to impact that? Here's a newborn baby after 9 months of being enclosed in the warmth of the mother's womb. Darkness, all of a sudden, is in a world of light, breathing on their own, and developing. The gut health has yet to be fully developed. That's what this article is going to talk about. But if we come in at some juncture here and say, let's give that child at day 1 a Hep B shot, hepatitis B, or hepatitis A. Most times, foodborne illnesses that the child's never going to get. But we give the baby a shot because you don't really have a choice. And we have that shot, and we watch the potential for dysfunction that happens. Let's read on. The findings were published online in the Journal of Nature Microbiology, while researchers understand the important connection between the many species of bacteria. So here we are. Stop there. We understand, this is medicine saying, we understand the connection between the many species of bacteria in the gut and human health. Why won't OB-GYNs, why won't most general practitioners refer probiotics to you? It also says we're now understanding how these species emerge in infancy and what functions they serve are not fully understood. So we understand that bacteria, the good bacteria that grows in the gut, along with all other bacteria, is responsible for the development of a human being. Eventually, the gut in children will hold hundreds of different species of bacteria. No, it's more like thousands. But at birth, there might only be 10 or fewer. Stop there. 10 or fewer, unless the mother has been consuming probiotics during the whole course of the pregnancy. This is done by Dr. Kyle Bittinger, PhD, Analytics Core Director of the Microbiome Center at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. We wanted to understand why these particular bacteria are the first to emerge and what they're doing in the first hours of life. Since there's only 10, let's try to find out. The study focused on 3 species of bacteria. E. coli, sometimes seen as the bad guy that can be in food. Enterococcus faecalis, very common one, and Bacteroides vulgaris. Now, Bacteroides, again, a strain of what we call, it's an Italian sounding name. This is the good bacteria. It says, because to date these species have been observed in the highest numbers of babies, they analyzed the genomes of these bacteria to determine when they're growing in infants. Additionally, the team characterized the proteins and metabolites, or small molecules, that were present in the microbiome at this stage of development in the first days of life. One of the challenges for collecting this information is that in the first several hours of life, any DNA collected from a stool sample is not from the bacteria, but from the infant itself. No, it's more likely a reflection of what was going on in mom. The researchers did not see bacteria emerge in detectable concentrations until the infants were about 16 hours old. It took that long for these things to start growing. The study team found evidence that the initial environment of the gut microbiome is anaerobic, no oxygen, contrary to the prevailing model, which holds that the gut becomes anaerobic only after the bacteria grow and consume all the oxygen. No, it was which came first, chicken or the egg. I know this is getting confusing. Bear with me. The evidence came from observing the order in which the amino acids were consumed by the bacteria. The study team also observed that metabolite levels were generally consistent with the detection of bacteria. Molecules typically produced by gut bacteria, like acetate and succinate, which again can be seen in a stool analysis, went up in samples where bacteria was detected. So this is what they're doing with the kids. They're collecting poop samples. Additionally, the levels of select proteins went down in samples containing the bacteria, suggesting that the bacteria had been consuming the protein that was coming in where? From mom, to promote growth. Analysis of the 3 bacterial species studied in these infants revealed that multiple strains of each bacterium were already emerging. With the information we have, as we continue to follow these infants, we can track them and see how long these early strains of bacteria linger. We can also see the consequences of this initial chemical activity in later samples and hopefully pinpoint early changes that might impact health later in childhood. The researchers hope to use the study findings to determine how the development of the gut microbiome may influence excessive weight gain. Now you're seeing the real focus of what's going on here. This is an obesity study. It's sad to know that there's so many other things there, but we're getting back to the solid foundation, the right form of probiotics during the whole course of the pregnancy. The infants involved in this study will be followed through the first 2 years of life. Additionally, all 88 infants involved in the study are African Americans, a population for whom childhood obesity is a growing concern. And in today's world, when you do a study like this and you concentrate on this, heaven forbid somebody calls this a racist study. There are remarkably few studies that have looked at infant growth patterns in African Americans, says Babette Zimmel, an associate professor director of the Center for Human Phenomic Sciences. Wow. With this important first piece of the puzzle, we can follow these healthy term infants and learn what normal growth patterns look like so that in the future, we may be able to intervene when changes in the microbiome can adversely affect children. With me? Part 2. Now let's talk about the child that's born. Now we're going to start breastfeeding. You know, every mother tries. And again, as I stressed over and over again, the importance of probiotics during the whole course of the pregnancy and in breastfeeding. University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine. Even small amounts of breast milk strongly influences the accumulation of viral populations in the infant gut and provides a protective effect against potentially pathogenic viruses, according to researchers who examined hundreds of babies in a study from the Perelman School of Medicine at the University of Pennsylvania. The findings expand upon prior research that suggests breastfeeding plays a key role in the interaction between babies and the microbial environment. Duh. You know, it's amazing. This study came out April 15th of this year. Yet we will say over and over again, We've known this. This is nothing new. Latest research could influence strategies for the prevention of early gastrointestinal disorders and encourage mothers to feed baby breast milk even when mixed with formula. Findings were published in a journal called Nature. And it's amazing how a lot of mothers nowadays, in today's world, have opted immediately to make a decision we're not going to breastfeed. Penn researchers measured the numbers and types of viruses in the first stool and subsequent stools of newborns in the United States and Botswana using advanced genome sequencing and other methods. It's part of what we call a stool analysis. The lab that we use, Vibrant America, calls it a gut zoomer. It can be done at any point in life. Most of the first wave of viruses turned out to be predators that grew in the first bacteria that colonized the infant gut. Later, at 4 months, viruses that can replicate in human cells and potentially make humans sick were prominent in the baby's stool, unless the mother took probiotics. These findings can help us better understand why some babies get sick and develop life-threatening infections in their first months of life and others don't. And they still don't get it. The newborn's home country also played a part in the prevalence of viral infections. Babies from Botswana were more likely to have those potentially harmful viruses in their stools at that 4-month mark compared to babies born in the U.S. They don't have access to the probiotics that we could have here. Location of mom and baby seem to play a role, probably due to the kind and number of microorganisms babies are exposed to environmentally. Now, it's a matter of what was being consumed by the mom. In the future, Dr. Bushman and Liang want to look at varying ages to see how development of the virome, the virus population in the gut, influences a child's growth. 2 studies dealing with the microbiome, dealing with general health, vibrancy, and longevity. The numbers to reach us here in the office, 678-228-8900. Please, would you share this with anybody, friend, relative, church member that may be thinking of getting pregnant, that is pregnant, that's maybe breastfeeding. If you want help with the selection of a probiotic, call us. 678-228-8900. This can be life-saving information. Tomorrow on our Saturday morning show, we're going to talk about tips again. I hate to be going back to coronavirus again. Tips again to help you avoid the coronavirus. Tips again to avoid the coronavirus. We'll go into it again. And I'm going to tell you, this is hopefully going to be the last time, but there's little teeny surges going on in some places. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what just came out of the World Health Organization tomorrow. That's at 9 o'clock Eastern. We look forward to seeing you then. 678-228-8900. The website is The Nutrition Shop, THE, The Nutrition Shop, SHOPPE.net. God bless you, folks, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, bright and early. Take care.